Most people in the world agree that one day the Earth will not exist. Whether it will be the fault of the humans or the sun bursting into oblivion, Earth will one way or another not be able to support human life forever. We have an obligation to future generations to invest in them by actively exploring space now and looking for alternative living options, like author Jack Williamson's concept of terraforming. We have a moral obligation to ensure that our species keeps advancing forward. By actively looking for alternative energy sources, colonizing, and learning about space and what it is, we are taking huge steps in the right direction. Many of the environmental issues prominent in current debate would be improved through space exploration. Titan, one of Saturn's moons, contains oceans of natural gas, more than has ever been used on Earth. Even asteroids that are much closer than Saturn or its moons contain a plethora of platinum and clean water. So, why haven't we started, you ask? NASA lacks a clear vision. They have the money but not the direction, and are focusing on short-term robot achievements rather than building another program like Apollo that will eventually get humans into space again.
According to Elizabeth Jagger, a professor of sociology at Glasgow Caledonian University, dating advertisements are a revealing site for examining the social construction of identities that are deemed desirable and marketable in a specific cultural context. Looking at Craigslist, I agree with Jagger. The truth that comes forth in the examination of internet postings is an indication of the desirable and thus acceptable characteristics of people belonging to a certain culture or community. Looking at the posts in the men seeking men category of Craigslist compared to the men seeking women or women seeking women categories, it's easy to see a larger emphasis on the physical, on anonymity, and on the crudely sexual in postings by men seeking sex with other men. Researchers have found that homosexuals are more likely than heterosexuals to mention physical characteristics and sexuality in online dating advertisements and in print ads. Being largely unmonitored and incredibly heavily trafficked, Craigslist serves as an online data pool unrivaled in size of personals so privately honest in their anonymity that they seem to pinpoint a powerful, though often ignored, sociological pulse in America. Though many men and women, both hetero and homosexual, participate in anonymous sex, gay and bisexual men who use Craigslist to solicit sex reveal a subculture of the gay community that appears unmatched in its sexual aggression and seemingly in prominence by gay women and heterosexuals. Though risky sex behavior is normatively handled on an individual psychological level, I argue for an appeal to a wider perspective regarding risky anonymous sex among gay and bisexual men in America. I believe this issue can only be tackled by utilizing a sociological perspective.
I got a problem with traditional options for divorcing families. So maternal custody was often granted in the past, but that doesn't work out anymore, you see. This is why when the mom has custody, dad is missing from the family tree. This has detrimental effects on the child's mental wellness, causing feelings of abandonment and stress. Studies show when kids see both parents, they do better in school and often have more friends. Both parents are important, they're the pillars that support them, and their kids would really miss them if one were gone.
In the past, certain artists have taken music's ability to make change and have made a positive impact in the world. Bob Marley is one of these artists, and the impact he had on Jamaica, as well as the rest of the world, during his lifetime is one of the most extraordinary events to have ever taken place in the world of music. Marley took his upbringing and his environment and interpreted it in ways that had never been done before in Jamaica. He spoke out against political, social, and economic problems that existed in his country, and did so in a way that affected people's lives like never before. Bob Marley revolutionized the way people thought and the goals people had in their lives. Because of this, he will always remain as one of the most important people in Jamaican history. Marley reminded people that race was insignificant in the spectrum of life, and that the true suppression was coming from a lack of action and personal knowledge. He encouraged the people to stand up for their rights as humans and not to let the color of their skin define them in the world. The political violence that was taking place in Jamaica during Bob Marley's life was unlike anything us Americans can really imagine. The two political parties, the People's National Party and the Jamaican Labor Party, fought each other almost like rival gangs. Political leaders in Jamaica realized the impact Marley had on the Jamaican society, and they encouraged him to return to Jamaica and do a peace concert to help remediate the problems. And he returned to Jamaica to play a concert that would end up having one of the most iconic moments in Jamaican history. The concert would be known as the One Love Peace Concert. During the show, Marley called the two rival political leaders on stage and joined their hands together over his head. This was a symbolic gesture to the people of Jamaica, showing that even two people that were essentially enemies could come together and be at peace.